This is your one and only Firespark81 with your daily dose of video goodness. We're back playing some more Starbound, and as I'm sure many of you know, the new 1.1 patch dropped, was it yesterday? Day before yesterday? The new patch dropped, heck yeah. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys a lot of really cool stuff that I found out so far, one of which is how to make an awesome aquarium like this with the fish you catch. We'll get to that here in a second. Let's get started with some awesome fishing stuff. Okay, I'm sure many of you know the basics, but I'm going to go over it real quick just in case some of you are watching this and haven't watched any other fishing videos yet. So first of all, there are two fishing rods. There is this fishing rod. This is the basic one you can make with the basic foraging table. This will allow you to fish in Arctic and normal ocean planets like you see here. So the Arctic Ocean and just plain ocean planets like what I'm on right now. Then when you upgrade that table to your agricultural table, you can craft the durable fishing rod. This will allow you to then fish in the magma and toxic biomes. If you take a look at this, you can see I have a high capacity reel and a motorized lure. There are different types of lures and reels that you can get when you're fishing. They'll drop from rare fish. Now to equip these, you equip them the same way you equip the upgrades to your EPP and the collars onto your pets, and you cannot take them off once they're equipped, and you equip another one, you lose the one that is on there. The same with the other upgrades. The different reels that you can get are the high capacity reel, speed reel, tension reel. Then there's three different lures you can get. You can get the illuminated, the motorized, and the sinking. When you first craft this fishing rod, you will have just a basic reel and a basic lure. I'm not going to go over each of the reels and lures in detail. You can look those up on the wiki. I'll provide a link below. Okay, so let's talk about catching fish real quick. When you cast your rod, the lure goes in the water and it will sink. You can control it with the W, A, S, and D keys. Immediately, well, almost immediately, little fish will start to spawn. These little fish are your common fish. You don't want those. Well, I mean, you may want those, but you're probably going to want the rarer fish. The longer you keep the lure in the water, the more rarer fish will spawn. If you get a fish you don't want, you can just right click and it will reset everything. Different fish spawn at different depths and at different times of day. And when the game talks about depth, and when I talk about depth, we're not talking the actual deepness of the water. Basically, depth is the reel or the line and how deep your line is. So even if I was to go all the way down to the bottom here and cast this line, and it only went out this far, it wouldn't be any deeper than if I was casting it up here. So when you think of depth, when you think of this fishing mini game, you have to think of how far your lure is from the tip of the pole. That is depth. So different fish can be caught at different depths. Also, like I said, they can be caught at different times of the day. And then each planet has different types of fish that you can catch, and they come in common, uncommon, rare, and then there's legendary. I have yet to see a legendary. I've gotten a couple of rares. So what you want to do in order to get the rares, though, is you want the lure to go in the water, of course, and then you're going to dodge these little guys here. You want to try to keep the lure away from them and just move it around in the water. And as you continue to keep it in the water longer, you will start to see rare fish spawn. Right here is an uncommon fish, so we can try to hook it. Now when you're reeling it in, you can see that they do a back and forth pattern and then a pull pattern like that. See how it's pulling? Now it's swimming back and forth. Now it's pulling. When it does that pull, you do not want to be reeling it in. So let me demonstrate here real quick with just a common fish. So we're going to catch this common fish. I'm going to reel in. I'm going to let go. Reel in. Let go. Reel in. Let go. Reel in. Let go. So you get the idea. Every time you see it pull the line, you'll also hear like a reeling sound. You let go immediately, And you just keep pulling in, and there you go. It comes up on land. You can either kill it, wait for it to die, or you can suck it up in the relocator, which is a new item that was also added. And this is how you create your fish aquariums. Yeah, you can pick them up in the relocator and then place them back down. I already have a couple in here. See here, I can drop him down. I can pick him back up. Now there's a few things to note. Once you pick them up in this relocator, it kind of changes how they work. They become, I guess, static pets. I don't really know how to describe it. I can tell you that if you kill them, you don't get anything, and they will survive on land indefinitely. From as far as I can tell, they just hop around all stupid like. Okay, so a fire spark video isn't really a fire spark video unless I'm showing you how to break the game a little bit, and that's what we have here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast this line. I'm going to drop it down. We're going to wait for some little fishies to show up. Here they come. Then we're gonna bait this little guy in, and then all I have to do is wait a second, and I can just reel him right in. So this little setup that I have here makes fishing a lot faster and a lot easier, because honestly the most time-consuming part to fishing is reeling in the fish. So let's show you how I have this set up. So what I have here is a knot gate. I have a motion sensor, 2 drains. Let's take this off. So knot gate, motion sensor, 2 drains, a gate, and then a door. You have to have the gate here because if you don't, this for some reason won't fill back up with water. It used to, but for some reason now it won't. So I have the gate here, so this will fill back up with water instead of just setting here. So when there's nothing down here, what happens is this motion sensor goes off, turns these guys on, opens the gate, this fills up with water. When this detects motion or an entity, it shuts the door and drains the water, and then you have easy fishing. So I'll let you see how I have this hooked up. I have the motion detector hooked to the knot gate, the output for the knot gate hooked to the door and the gate, and then I have both drains connected directly to the motion sensor. So this can speed up your fishing a lot, and you can scale this as deep down as you want to. The problem is if I just set the hook right here and wait, you can see nothing spawns. The hook needs to have a little bit of room where there's no background to it. And you can see how effective this is. We can catch fish all day. Anyway, the hook needs to have a little bit of room where there's no background around it for the fish to start spawning. So you can take this almost the full length of your rod. Like I said, I would leave a little bit of wiggle room, and you can make fishing super easy and a heck of a lot faster. So once you have your fish in your relocator, all you have to do is come over to your aquarium and click and place them in there, and there you go. You have an aquarium full of fish. Once they're in there, if you don't want them in there, you can also take them back out and move them around. So I can't wait to see some awesome stuff you guys do with this. If you make awesome aquariums, post them in the comments down below. I want to see them. I want to see awesome stuff you guys make with this, because my aquarium sucks. I know it sucks. It's just for demonstration purposes. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about with is another trick I found with the relocator. It allows you to dupe some pets. You can see here that I only have one of these pet tethers with one capture pod in it, but I have a bunch of these little guys floating around. All you have to do is suck them up while they're in the pet tether. It will fill your gun, the pet tether will spawn another one, and then you can place another one down. I don't know what all this is capable of duping. I know it won't dupe normal pets like the ones that attack. It may only do the little critters. But hey, at least you can dupe critters. I tried everything I could to dupe the actual attack pets. Couldn't get it to work. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the weapons. As many of you know, in this patch, they ruined the whole moon thing with the level 10 weapons on the moon. However, you can still get level 8 weapons. If you have a completely leveled up ship and it's your final tier of your ship, and you spawn in a merchant, you can get level 8 weapons, which are still higher than what you would get on the fire planets, which would only be level 6. So you can see here, if you look in the weapon window in the right hand corner, there is an 8. I have a mod installed that shows the level of weapons. That means this is a weapon level 8. Same here with this sword. So you can still get high weapons, just not as high as you could before, and they should still pay you in the higher weapons as well. So no more level 10s, but at least you can still get 8s. If you're on the moon and you already had a moon colony and it was full of merchants and they were selling level 10 weapons, they will still sell level 10 weapons. However, if you break the deed and then replace it down, it resets them and they will not sell level 10 weapons. So if you had them on there before the patch, you can still buy those same weapons at level 10. Okay, let's talk about the Novakids. I have each of the different types spawned here. You can see up here at the top, I have the basic one, and all I did was use the little Mushi painting and then put down a deed, and that covered enough blocks. And here I have the merchant. I just used a table that didn't have any racial tags and 2 of the safes which have their racial tag and the storage tag. So anything that has a commerce tag that doesn't have any racial tag tied to it should work. And then you just want to use 2 of the storage items, which I think the other one was the vault or something like that. And then there's the safe. I use them because I assume they would be the smallest. If you look, he sells a higher level gear for the Novakids. You can also see that he too sells level 8 weapons. I've also spawned in the guard of the Novakid, and I just used the Mushi painting for him, and then our weapon crate, the same one we were using to spawn in our others, because the weapon crate doesn't have any racial tags. The Mushi has the Novakid racial tag, so then we were able to get the Novakid for that one. Now the patch also added the pastel set, which is what you see here, and it will spawn this lady here every time. It's not the same lady, but it's a lady that's similar, and I'll show you that here. So she's always like some type of princess lady. So that's the pastel set, and to get her, I just did the what is this cupboard? Let's break this real quick. The wardrobe, and then 2 wall clocks. So the last thing I want to talk about is they have added the perfect armor back into the game, and to get that and to get the recipe for it, you need to buy one of these perfectly generic items, and you can see those cost one of the scorched cores, cryogenic extract, static cell, and venom samples, all of which you can farm from the Mushis. Once you have the recipes, you will be able to craft them in your armor and weapons crafting table where you craft all your other goodies. You can see that each piece costs a different amount of the perfect blocks. The breastplate costing you 50, the helm costing you 30, and the legs costing you 20. So it's kind of expensive, but you can farm the stuff for free, so it's not too terrible. Also, the stats are freaking crazy, because as you can see now, I have 220 health, 250 energy, 460 attack damage, and 80 defense. If I swap to the top tier armor from my race, now this is the top tier that focuses on energy, you can see that I only have 160 health, 250 energy, and 400 damage and 80 defense. So you get a pretty good size boost to your health and to your damage by getting this armor. I would say this is probably the best armor I've found so far in the game. Also, the chest piece puts off these little blocks, so it's the only piece you need to have exposed. If you like to wear the close over top of your armor so your armor doesn't show. You can pull off the chest piece. That one you'll have to have showing in order to get the little block effect. The other ones do nothing. If I take off my vanity pieces here, you can see that I don't have the effect. So if you want to block the effect, you can just cover the chest piece. That is the only piece that puts off that blocky little effect. Okay, that's going to call it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if it was helpful. And like I said, if you make an awesome aquarium, link a picture down below. I'd like to see it. Also, if you're shy and you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and show your support. And if you're not already, make sure you're following me on Twitter for all the good channel updates and goodness. Until next time, thanks for watching.